We often imagine that big change comes from big moments. A dramatic wake-up call, a perfect chance, or a sudden burst of motivation that's strong enough to rewrite your entire life. However, real change, the kind that sticks, rarely follows that script. It often starts small, so small in fact that we almost don't notice it. Now, let me introduce you to Daniel. Daniel is an ordinary guy in his late 20s, and that's exactly what he was, normal. However, throughout the pandemic, normal slowly slid into numb. Daniel would wake up late, work from bed, and eat whatever was closest. And his soul slid into one long loop of inertia. Now, one day, Daniel stepped on the scale, and it flashed 95 kilograms. This is where you expect a dramatic movie moment where Daniel throws the scale away, goes to the gym, and rebuilds his entire life. But human behavior doesn't work like that. According to the Fogg behavior model at Stanford, in order for an action, you need motivation, ability, and a trigger. Now, motivation is unstable. It rises and falls like waves. You can't trust it. It is ability that truly decides whether we stick to something or not. Now, the harder something is, the less likely we are to repeat it. And the easier it is, the more likely it is to become a habit. Daniel went on a walk, and he would walk for 5 minutes. No goal, no workout plan, no 10,000 steps. He just walked. This was a micro action, something small enough that his brain didn't try to resist it. Neuroscientists call this, in a way, activation energy. The harder something is, the more psychological energy it's going to take to act. Lower the activation energy, and voila, even the laziest person won't resist anymore. And on went Daniel. 5 minutes turned into 7 minutes, and 7 minutes turned into 10 minutes. And Daniel didn't change because he was motivated. He changed because he was acting the way that he believed he was. Now, according to research, every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Daniel began to act like a fit person. He drank an additional glass of water. He read 1 page before bed. He turned off his phone at midnight and took the stairs instead of the elevator. One among these things won't impress somebody. However, together, they're unstoppable, and they made him truly change. What we saw was the compounding effect in these actions. Human behavior doesn't compound. Human behavior does compound. Now, these small actions aren't small, they multiplied, like investments, or stocks, or Bitcoin, or whatever you could think of. If you improve at something by 0.1% every day, you'll see a 44% improvement in 1 year. And if you get worse at something by 0.1% every day, you'll see a 31% decline in that. Now, this is called synaptic plasticity. Every time you repeat an action, you enhance the neural pathway associated with it. And repeat it enough times, it becomes automatic. We saw this with Daniel. An easier way to explain this, if you didn't get it, is to imagine a tall field of grass. The first time you walk through the tall field of grass, it's going to hit your legs, push back at you, and slow you down. Now, if you walk that same path for about a year, a track is going to form. And at one point, you don't walk the track walks you. Then, after 6 months, he steps on the scale. It says 91 kilograms. After 9 months, 82 kilograms. And the victory isn't just physical. It's something deeper, it's something psychological. Because Daniel no longer felt like a passenger in his own life. He felt like he could truly make a change through these actions. So there are 3 levels of change. Outcome change, which is a change in what you want. Process change, a change in what you do. And identity change, a change in who you think you are. Now, most of us will target outcome change and say, oh, I want to be an astrophysicist, let's say. But you don't act like an astrophysicist. You just say you want to be one. Daniel said, I am fit. And in turn, his behavior followed. He began to act fit. Of all human habits that can be developed, the identity-based ones are the strongest and most lasting. Your habits will follow who you believe you are. Stanford neuroscientist Andrew Huberman explained, the brain rewards repetition, not perfection. If you repeat something a lot of times, your brain is going to reward you for just beginning the action. You get rewarded for finishing it, but just beginning it still gives you the feeling of doing something. Now, this gave him a cue, an action, and a reward. This became a loop. Every time he would walk for 5 minutes, he would get the cue, oh, I need to walk. Then he would walk, which is the action, and the reward is the dopamine hitting his head that, yes, I did it, I finally walked. Bruce Lee said, long-term consistency beats short-term intensity. And I think we all see this in our lives and through Daniel. Now, the main idea of this is you don't need a breakthrough and you don't need a sudden burst of motivation like you think you do and you see in movies. You just need one more glass of water, one page before bed, one push-up, one small step, and another the next day, and another the day after that. Repeat that for a year, and you'll see more improvement. Thank you very much.